Hope you guys are having a great day. Finally have an announcement on the 2025 MLS MVP. And I think this might be the latest that's ever been announced. Normally it's announced the week of the MLS Cup, a couple days before, but there was just so much going on with the World Cup draw, other things. So I think that's why they delayed it, because they didn't want it to get buried. But they officially announced the MLS Cup, or excuse me, the MLS MVP for 2025. And it's none other than Lionel Messi. Inter Miami's Lionel Messi repeats as Landon Donovan MLS MVP. Second year in a row. Inter Miami forward Lionel Messi has been named the 2025 Landon Donovan MLS MVP, becoming the first player in league history to win the award in consecutive seasons. The 2025 MLS Golden Boot, presented by Audi, led the league. Lionel Messi led the league with 29 goals, 19 assists, and 28 matches, surpassing the 20 goals and 16 assists he produced during the 2024 MLS winning campaign. So when you think about it, of course he was going to win it, right? And we'll talk about the voting down below in a second, because they did put out how the chat, or not the chat, but the media voted, the clubs voted, the players voted, how they voted for the 2025 MLS MVP. And I appreciate everyone who is in the chat. Mr. Keyshawn says Vancouver let the game slip between their grasp. Cringe says, "Hey, Will, appreciate you for stopping by." Cringe. Also, guys, make sure you like the stream down below, or the video down below if you haven't already. Helps us out. MLS MVP has been announced. We're in off-season mode now officially. So make sure you guys like this video down below. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are 540 subscribers away from 12,000. We're getting closer and closer. Huge off season coming up. Going to be a lot of moves, a lot of players on the move. You aren't going to want to miss any of that content. So make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, Messi won MVP in 2024, and it was highly debated if he should have been MVP in 2024, because they said he didn't play enough games. He only played in 19 matches. He had 20 goals. He had 16 assists, but he had the best season. So, of course, he was going to win, right? It was a lot closer. But in 2025, he played 28 matches. He had 29 goals, 19 assists, 48 goal contributions. There was no way he wasn't going to win. Messi's 48 goal contributions were the second most in MLS history, only behind Carlos Vela, who set the record in 2019, and he had 49 goal contributions. He had 34 goals and 15 assists in 2019. So, and keep in mind, Carlos Vela played 31 matches that year. He played in 3 more games than Messi has in 2025. So if Messi had played 3 more games, he would have destroyed the record. Easily would have beaten the 2019 record of 49 goal contributions by Carlos Vela. The Argentine legend also set an MLS record with at least 3 goal contributions in 9 consecutive matches and 10 multi-goal goals in a single season. He became the first player in league history to record at least 36 goal contributions multiple times, 2024 and 2025. So let's look at the voting real quick too. The Landon Donovan MLS MVP award has been presented since 1996 to the individual determined by the poll of players, club technical staff, and media as the most valuable to his club. Messi is the second player to win the award twice, joining Preki 1997 and 2003, and the fourth to claim MVP and the Golden Boot in the same season. And the last decade, he beat out MLS newcomer Anders Dreyer. But like I said, he's also the first player in MLS history to win this award in back-to-back seasons. He's the second player to win it twice, and he's the first player to ever win it in back-to-back seasons. Huge accomplishment, and he deserved it. I mean, look at the season he had, and look what they did with the when they won MLS Cup, and how much better they played down the stretch, and how reliant this team was on him in 2025. So this is how the vote tally broke down. Messi had 83% of the media vote, 55% of the player vote, 73% of the club vote, 70% of the total vote for MVP. Anders Dreyer, 7% media vote, 19% player vote, 8% club vote, 11% of the total vote. So it was pretty much it was a landslide. I mean, he won it pretty definitively. I'm a little surprised by some of these votes that anybody received like a vote at all. Like Sam Surridge had a good season, but he was a penalty merchant. I don't know how anyone voted for him to win MVP. That's interesting. And Evander, he got 0% from the club vote. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, some of these votes, I'm a little surprised. I feel like it was really just a two-man race, but really it was just a one-man race, right? Lionel Messi was definitely the clear winner for MVP. And I just can't believe how many goals and how many assists he was able to get, considering his team. If you watch his team in 2025, the talent around him was very subpar in 2025. He had to do a lot more this year than he did last year. And there were times where it felt like they only had him. So that's another thing to me why this is so impressive, that he was able to score 29 goals, 19 assists with the limited help he had, with the struggles they had. And I think I would say that this is probably the best MLS season of all time for a player. Now, he didn't score 30 goals, which it's happened three other times in MLS history. It happened by Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Carlos Vela, and Joseph Martinez. They're the only three players to ever have 30 goals. So, like, he missed it by one goal. That doesn't really bother me too much because he had the 19 assists. But I would say that this is probably the best season of all time for an MLS player. Now, in contention would probably be Carlos Vela's 2019 season, where he scored 34 goals and he had 15 assists. He had 49 goal contributions. Another one would be Sebastian Giovinco, 2015. He had 22 goals and 16 assists. He had 38 goal contributions. Quick math on the air. And another one would be Joseph Martinez, where he had 31 goals. But I feel like when you look at it in totality, that Messi clears. Like, he's had the best season in Major League Soccer history. He had the best season in Major League Soccer history. Now, like I said, he didn't score as many goals. I'm looking at Joseph Martinez's season. I think he had 34 goals, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if that's correct. 31 goals. So he had 31 goals in 2018. That's the record for most goals. I'd like to think if Messi played 34 matches, he would have broke that. He would have scored 30. He would have scored 30 goals. He missed 6 games this year due to injury. He would have definitely scored over 30 goals. He would have broke Carlos Vela's record. He would have probably smashed it. And so that I'm not really hung up on that. I just can't believe he almost had 20 assists. He had 29 goals and 19 assists with subpar talent around him a lot of times this season. That's what's most impressive. But as much as Messi is very thankful for probably winning this MVP, I think he's more happy that they won MLS Cup, because that's all that he really cared about. He really wanted to win the trophy. He wanted to win the league. I don't really know if he cares much about these player accolades, right? These individual awards. He's a team player, obviously, but I think that just kind of like capitalizes, because even as good as some of these other seasons, Carlos Vela, his season where he did have 49 goal contributions, they did not win the MLS Cup. Sebastian Giovinco, when he had 38 goal contributions, they did not win MLS Cup. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, when he scored 31 goals or 30 goals, they did not win MLS Cup. Joseph Martinez did win MLS Cup when he scored 31 goals. So that was a really good season. But a lot of these good seasons that people had, they didn't win MLS Cup. And in a second, I'm gonna read some of these comments, but I'm gonna go back and look and see when the last time the MLS MVP also won MLS Cup. I think I know who it is. Cringe says Messi had an excellent season. I expect that Miami will bring in a right winger or striker if Allende doesn't come back, and Messi will be more of a creative assist king next year. I agree with that. I think he could have. I think with the right players around him, he could have 30 assists. Honestly, I'm not even joking. I think next year he could have 20 goals and 30 assists. I do think he's always going to be able to score because of quality. But I do think as time goes on, he'll be more of like you said, the pulling the strings, right? The playmaker. So I think that's kind of like the role he'll go into as things, as time passes on, because he's 38 years old, right? But he's still incredible. He still can score at an incredible rate. I mean, he's the Golden Boot winner still, right? Let's see. Cringe says, I believe Messi wants to create a separate legacy at Miami and MLS. He wants the CONCACAF Champions Cup and hopefully gets the invite to Copa Libertadores. By the way, I think we're going to do a stream tonight at 7:30 Eastern time, talking about the CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. We're doing a live watch along, reacting to the teams and who they're playing. I think I want to do that just to see what happens. I'm going to try to get Favi to come on here and do that with me. We'll see if he's able to. But yeah, I agree. He wants to leave a legacy. He wants to build a dynasty at Miami. He's trying to build a club. He's trying to build Barcelona at Inter Miami from the ground up. Like, he's trying to be like one of the founding players that helped elevate that club to be at an elite club status, right? How often does that happen? Most clubs are established all around the world. So doing something like that is hard, is unique, impressive, and kind of cool when you think about it. Cringe says Sam Surge's vote came from Nashville's players. Probably, but he also had some media votes too. MLS moves add postseason also its best overall season. Well, that's the thing. It's like they don't base the MVP off of the postseason. It's only regular season stats. But I know Messi obviously had an incredible postseason as well. He had 15 goal contributions. He had 6 goals and 9 assists in the MLS Cup playoffs, which is incredible. 15 goal contributions in 6 games is insane. It just speaks to how good he is. But it doesn't count towards the MLS MVP. It's only a regular season based award. It's only how good you did in the regular season. Agreed, Will, similar to what Maradona did with Napoli. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Napoli was I don't want to say built, but Maradona obviously helped make that club very relevant, right? Messi said himself, let's see, let me read this. Sorry. Messi himself said he doesn't care more about individual trophy. He cares team to win trophy. Yeah. No, I agree. Like, I don't think he cares that much about winning personal trophies. I think he cares more about winning doesn't care about individual awards. He cares about trophies. I guarantee you he would have traded away all his Ballon d'Ors for a World Cup win. He would have traded all of his Ballon d'Ors for more Champions League wins for Barcelona. Like, he cares way more about the team trophies than individual accolades. If Miami played this transfer window right, they'll be a big contender for CONCACAF Champions Cup. And I'm curious to see who they're going to draw tonight. I'm hoping to do a live stream for that as well, or a reaction to that, and see who they're going to draw and what the Champions Cup is going to look like team-wise. But this is just an incredible season. I do think this was a little bit swept under the rug, how good the season was. Last year was highly debated because people were saying that he just didn't play enough games to win MVP. He only played 19 games, but his stats were the best. If your stats are the best in the league after 19 games and you have the most points in the season as a club, you have to win MVP, right? You just have to. But this year, I feel like the door was slammed shut. The only other player that was even remotely close to coming to Messi for MVP was Anders Dreyer. And he did have a very good season. I'm a huge fan of Anders Dreyer, and he did it on an expansion team. I just don't think he ever had a chance. I mean, he had 19 goals and 19 assists. He was very, very good for San Diego FC. He was very good. But he had 10 less goals. He had the same amount of assists as Messi. He played in 6 more games. And if this was a normal season without Messi, then yes, he would have been MVP. But he won Newcomer of the Year, which is still an impressive award. But it just was never close. I mean, Messi, let me make sure that this is, yeah. He led the league not only in goals but assists. Let me go back to this for a second. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so he led the league in goals and assists. He only played in 28 games. He is actually tied with Dreyer for assists, but still, they have him at number one. He's tied for number one. He won by 5 goals in the Golden Boot race. I remember heading into the final 2 weeks that this was close. Like, it was like 1 goal within 1 goal, a 1 goal margin, and he just ran it up. He won by 5 goals. He's ended up winning the race by 5 goals. So, and honestly, too, think about this when you talk about MVP. It is a lot about what you do statistically with your club, but also how bad or good would you be if your team took you away? If Messi wasn't on Inter Miami, would they have won MLS Cup? No, I don't think so. I don't think they would win MLS Cup if Messi wasn't on their team this year or if he was hurt. So now Andrew Stryer, would San Diego FC been good without him? No, they wouldn't have, but they didn't win MLS Cup. Mr. says, oh, sorry, I read that one already. We may get Timo Werner and Kai Wagner. Yeah, I don't think the Timo Werner rumors are bogus. I don't think they're true. How Messi makes it look so easy. He's incredible. He's the best player of all time. He's the best player of all time. Salah got to come to MLS. Maybe he will. I still think he's more favored to probably go to the Saudi League, but we'll see. San Diego could be more dangerous next season if Mo Salah doesn't go to Saudi. He'll probably go to. You think he go to San Diego? That would be interesting. Hacker says next season, who will be your MVP and Golden Boot winner? Because Messi will not play many games. He will miss so many games to prepare for the World Cup. Make sure to be fit and healthy. It's a little too early to give an MVP prediction for 2026. I do think it's going to be a battle between him and probably Son Heung-min, I would say. But we'll see. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure if Son Heung-min, how many games he's going to miss because of the World Cup. Let me play this little clip too. I want to play this and see what this is of Messi. And it shows the other MVPs. Yeah, and also too, if you look at the MVP list, it's a little underwhelming in MLS history. Some of them are a little underwhelming. Some of them have had great seasons. And if you go back to like the last 10 years, Robbie Keane had a decent season. I remember the season very well when he played for the Galaxy. He had 19 goals and like 14 assists, I think, for the Galaxy that year. And then like Sebastian Jovinko, 22 goals, 16 assists. David Villa, 2016 MVP. I think he had 24 goals that season. Diego Valeri, 2017. I mean, some of these guys were very good, but when you look at the seasons, like if I compare what Messi's statistics are compared to some of these other guys, it's not even close. Like some of these guys have 20 assists, and that's why they end up winning MVP. But they didn't score 20 goals like he almost 2020 did. San Diego has Egyptian owners. Salah makes sense. Possibly. I still think it'd be likely he would probably go to the Saudi League because they'll offer more money. But there's a possibility. I don't know how he feels about living in the US. I'm not sure if that's something he wants to do. If it is, then yeah, of course we'd have a very good chance at Major League Soccer would have a very good chance at signing him. But yeah, if you look at these other MVPs, some of these are just very no disrespect, but some of these are very, very underwhelming. And that's why I don't think that's why Andrew Stryer, he had a good season. He would have been the runaway MVP, like I said, in other years. He would fit in line with some of these other statistical seasons. But when you're scoring 29 goals and 19 assists, it's almost impossible to compete with that. And I think it was, it was over before it even started. I thought Messi had clinched the MVP probably 3 months ago. I could see Messi retiring if he wins the World Cup back to back. Do you think he would care for MLS? Then he can retire whenever he wants. My thing with him is I think he's going to retire after the 2028 Copa America that's going to be in the United States, which is going to be right after the first MLS season where they switch to the new calendar. I think Messi's going to play in Major League Soccer for 1 year under the new calendar. Then he's going to retire after the Copa America in 2028. That's my prediction. I could be wrong about that, but that's my thoughts. Is Kai Wagner good as a left back? Yeah, he was a MLS best 11 for I think 1 or 2 seasons. He's a very good left back. I don't think that's who they're going to sign, though. I think they're going to sign Reguilon, like the guy from Madrid. I think actually he might be at Tottenham right now, technically. I think that that's who they're going to sign as a replacement for Jordi Alba. Could be wrong about that, but that's my opinion of who they're going to use to replace him when he retires, or he already did retire. Now, Kai Wagner is obviously someone to keep an eye on. Look, it's going to be an interesting offseason. If Messi, now Luis Suarez, just to touch on that for a second, Luis Suarez is kind of like is in limbo right now. Is he going to go back to Nacional? Is he going to re-sign with Miami? They've kind of lowballed him and offer to stay. I don't know what he's going to do, but I will say this: if they put youth around Messi, young players who are quality, he's going to win MVP for probably a third year in a row. It doesn't matter if he plays 18, 20 games. He'll have the craziest stats you possibly could think of for 20 games. He had 20 goals and 16 assists in 19 games in 2024. Why wouldn't he be able to do that in 2026 if he's got better talent around him? So I think that the team could be better next year. And I think that he could have another MVP season. He might be the MVP for the third season in a row. It's going to be close, though, because I think Son Heung-min is going to give him a run for his money because Son is pretty good. And he might end up playing more games. It's going to be a very close battle, but I think Messi would be my betting favorite to win MVP for a third year in a row. And look, it capitalizes a great season, Miami. Another MVP. Last year he won MVP, but he didn't win MLS Cup, so it kind of didn't really it probably left a sour taste in his mouth. It's like, yeah, I won this award, but I didn't win the ultimate trophy in the league. This year he's won MLS Cup. He won MVP. He won MLS Cup MVP. He's best 11. He's won every award you possibly could think to win in Major League Soccer at this point. And now he just has one ultimate goal. Let's see. First, tell me who is going to break Messi's 91 goals record in a single season in 2012. Nobody's ever going to break that record. Not that I know. I don't think there's ever going to be someone that breaks that record. I think that's probably one of the unbreakables, I would say. I don't know who the second is. Is Ronaldo second? Didn't he have like 75 goal contributions in a calendar year? Something like that. I can't remember what it was or who's second place, but it's pretty far distant second compared to the 91 goals in 2012. Green says, Will, remember when Gressel made the comments about Miami after 30 minutes, they break down? Something along those lines. Maybe did he say that this year? I don't remember that specifically. Kind of rings a bell, but I don't remember exactly the context of it. But yeah, I mean, I think this is an incredible season. I think this is the best season of Major League Soccer. I don't know if you guys agree with that. I don't know how long you guys have been watching Major League Soccer, some of you, but I think this is the best season of Major League Soccer by a player statistically for sure. Yes, like I said, Carlos Vela had one more goal contribution, but he also played in 3 more games. I think if Messi had played if you do the averages by games, Messi has the best. Messi would have beaten the record if he played 3 more games. So Muller 85, Ronaldo 69. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, so record is before Messi was 80. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna ever break 91. I don't think anyone. Ronaldo 69. Damn, that's kind of underwhelming when you think about it. Honestly, before Minnesota played Miami. Yeah, I don't really remember the context of that exactly, but yeah, I mean, obviously that was kind of true in the Vancouver match to a certain degree. I mean, they did break down after 30 minutes, but then they were able to find their way back in the 70th minute to win the game. So that's all that really matters. I mean, but look, they're gonna have to get some youth around them, Cringe. They're gonna have to get some young players that can do the running and help out, stop signing old players, and we'll see. But I think Messi's going to repeat. I think he's going to be he's going to three-peat. I think he's going to win MVP for a third year in a row. I think this is the best season that there's ever been in Major League Soccer. Not the best season he's ever had, but this is the best season that a player's ever had in Major League Soccer, and we'll see what happens going forward. But it's been a great season. This is the final award or the final piece of the 2025 season. Everything has been set now. MVP, MLS Cup, everything has been set. And it's been a hell of a season. I just want to come on here real quick and talk about this great season by Messi and, talk about how impressive it was and how he deserved to win the MVP. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I might be back on tonight for a live watch along for the CONCACAF Champions Cup draw. It depends. Starts at 7 o'clock Eastern time. I might be able to do that. We'll see. But I hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you guys like this down below if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.